Hello everyone, Melissa Wick here. Today's yoga practice is for the lower back. So if you are experiencing low back pain or have injured your lower back, then this practice may feel really good for you. I know I can personalize with this topic because I've hurt my lower back about 4 years ago, and it took a lot of love, a lot of patience, and a lot of my ego getting out of the way. Not being attached to what a yoga posture was supposed to look like, but rather tuning into how I feel and using my senses to tap in and to move in ways that feel right for me and feel good for me. So be in something comfortable, take it at your own pace, and pause the video when you need. We're going to be sending some love to our lower back in this practice, so let's get started. So I also wanted to mention, if you have weak wrists or you can't put pressure on your wrists, I will give modifications for anything where we are putting weight on our wrists. So let's get started on our backs. And yes, I am wearing slippers. Like I said, something comfortable. And let's begin here in Shavasana. So legs extended, palms flipping up towards the sky or ceiling. Keep the chest nice and open. And let's take 3 breaths together to arrive. So breathe in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Breathe in through the nose. Let it go through the mouth. Last one like that. Gently close the lips. Return to your natural breath, making the choice to arrive here on your mat. And just acknowledging how you feel in this moment without judgment and without changing anything, just showing up as you are right here, right now. Allow your breath to be nourishing to you. Letting your whole body be breathed. And noticing the energy within you, the electricity, the vibration, pulsating. We're going to slowly draw our knees in towards the chest, and you're going to cup the palm of your hands onto your kneecaps, fingers facing away from you. And then as you do that, you're going to let your knees fall enough so your arms can lengthen. So just keep your shoulders grounded. Keep the back of the neck lengthened by gently drawing the chin down. And start to feel this release in your low back. Staying present and conscious with your breaths. And we'll start to invite some knee circles. So we're going to draw the knees away from each other, out towards the chest, in a circular motion. So away from each other and in. And you can close your eyes and start to bring your awareness here to the base of your spine, your pelvis area, your hips, low back. And synchronizing your movement with your breathing. And then change the direction. So knees come out, draw away from the face, towards each other and in, making these circles. Last circle. Come back to center. You're going to take your feet as wide as the mat, feet flat on the mat. And you can have your arms face out into a T, palms up. Gently draw your knees over to the right. You can let your left hip lift up. And then inhale, knees come over through the center to the left. Maybe your right hip lifts up. So we're windshield wiping the knees from side to side. You can move as slow or as fast as you'd like here. Staying mindful and present, as if this is the most interesting thing in the world you could be doing. And then when you're ready, on the right side, you're going to leave your knees here over to the right for this wide-legged twist. If it's comfortable for your neck, you're welcome to bring your gaze over to the left. You're always welcome to take this further if you like by bringing your right ankle to the outside of the left thigh. If it's too much, just back off. And then let's release, knees over to the left. If it's comfortable, gaze over to the right. And you can try the same variation as you did on the first side. Maybe your left ankle comes to the outside of the right thigh. And then let's release. Now we're gonna come up to tabletop. So if you like to just roll off to one side and bring yourself up, you can do that, or you can take your hands behind the kneecaps and give yourself a rock all the way up, crossing at your ankles, hands forward, and tabletop. Now here, if you have weak wrists, you can make fists with your hands here, and this way you can keep your wrists nice and strong. So whichever variation, maybe you do your classic tabletop, wrists underneath the shoulders, hands are shoulder width distance apart, knees are hip width distance apart, knees in line with your hips. So we'll move through cat-cow. So as we inhale, we're going to drop the belly, tilt the pelvis, lift the gaze, keep the shoulders out of the ears. You can close your eyes. And then as you exhale, we're going to round. So start to draw the belly button towards the back of the spine, bring your gaze towards your belly button. And then inhale, come forward. Exhale, we round. Inhale, come forward. Breath to movement. Feeling each vertebrae or vertebra as you move. Exhale, we round. Feeling the shoulder blades peel away from each other. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, curl the tailbone first to lead, and then the head comes last. One more round. Inhale, front extension. Exhale, round, puff up the upper back. Inhale, come to neutral. We're going to find a puppy stretch or heart melting pose. So you're going to keep your hips exactly where they are and just walk your hands forward. And you're going to start to bring your forehead and heart towards the mat. Doesn't matter if they touch or not. And start to feel the lengthening in your spine, maybe in the underarms, in the ribs, the chest, shoulders. Use your inhale to walk your hands back underneath you. We're going to come into thread the needle. So you're going to keep your right hand down here. You can still keep your hand on as a fist. Inhale, your left arm's going to reach up and open. Maybe your gaze follows your hand, like you have a big wing here. And then you're going to exhale. Your left hand's going to thread behind the right. Left shoulder, left ear comes down to the mat. If you can't reach the ground, you can bring books or a block underneath the left ear. So your left hand is flipping up, your palm is up. Your right hand could just stay on the mat, or maybe you want to walk the right hand, right fingertips forward. So just as much as you're creating space on the right side of the body, create space on the left side as well. If you'd like, you can come onto your right fingertips and start to push into the ground and feel a bit more of a twist, deepening the stretch. And then let's release. Press your right hand into the mat. Lift yourself back up to the tabletop. Other side. So left hand is grounded down. Inhale, right arm's going to reach up. Look, gaze to your fingertips. Open up your wing. Feel your range of motion. And then exhale, right hand behind the left. Right shoulder, right ear comes down. Right palm faces up. Left hand could just stay planted here, or maybe you want to walk your left fingertips forward. Now find length wherever you are. Breathe into this, and remember, if you feel pain, just back off. A little discomfort is okay. We can breathe through that. And then release, press into your left hand, come right back to tabletop here. And we're going to make our way onto our belly. So maybe slide your knees back, come all the way down. And we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So you're going to bring your forearms down onto the mat as if you have the number 11 in front of you. So your elbows are in line with your shoulders, your palms are facing down, feet can be hip width distance apart. And then here, notice if you're collapsing your weight into your shoulders. You want to gently press your forearms and your palms down into the mat. And this is going to find some lift here. Now you want to engage the core, so you're drawing your belly button towards the back of the spine. And you'll notice that automatically allows your tailbone to scoop forward. And then press the tops of your feet into the mat. So if you are feeling pain here in your low back, this is too much, you're welcome to wing out your elbows and then just come down a little bit lower here while still keeping your belly button strong towards the back of the spine. This protects the low back. Tops of the feet press down. Now your head could just stay in line with the spine. You can close the eyes here. Or if you'd like, you can experiment between the two. You can start to drop the chin and release the weight of your head, just being mindful not to collapse in the shoulders, keeping integrity here. take 2 more cycles of breath here. And then here we'll slowly release onto our bellies. Forehead comes down, so your head is straight. Take your hands down by your side, palms face down. We're going to come into locust pose. So here you're going to start to let your hands hover. You're going to squeeze the triceps, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift your forehead up, maybe your shoulders lift. Your back body is on. If that's enough for you, stay here. Head is in line with the spine. If you want to go further, point your toes and maybe the tops of your feet lift. Maybe your kneecaps lift and your quads lift. Maybe you come a little higher here. So you're thinking actually length rather than height. So length, reaching from your tailbone all the way through the top of your head. One more cycle of breath here. And then release. You can either make a pillow with your hands or rest one ear onto the mat. Soften here. So as you breathe in, let your belly button expand into the ground, creating space in your low back. And exhale, soften. Okay, so you take your hands by your chest, elbows in. You can push yourself through tabletop and come into child's pose. So you can come either into a wide-legged child's pose or knees together if you'd like, your choice. And take your hands either in front of you, or maybe you want to take your hands beside you, or maybe you want to take them through the legs. And take about 5 breaths here. Okay, let's come into down dog here just for a moment. If you have the weak wrists, you can just bring your forearms down to the ground and do a forearm down dog variation. So here, just pedal out your feet a couple times, just bringing in some energy and movement into the legs. And then we're going to take our right foot between the hands. You can assist that foot with your hand. Take your left knee down to the mat. Low lunge. From here, we're going to take our hands to our thigh, our right thigh. Make sure your right knee is tracking in line or over the ankle, just slightly. So we want to have energetically our right heel drawing back and our left knee forward. That'll activate the scissoring action in the hips. So our tailbone is drawing down and forward, but at the same time we're lifting out of our hips, gliding the shoulders down the back. And feeling this beautiful long line in our psoas. And then take your hands down either side of the right foot. Bring your hips back to half split. So you're welcome to take your hands on blocks here if you have them. Draw your right toes towards the face. Keep the line in your spine here, head in line with the spine. You want to feel this dragging action of your right heel. Sometimes our lower back pain comes from tight hamstrings. And then exhale, bend through that right knee, come forward again. We're going to prepare for pigeon. So you're going to heel toe your right ankle towards the left, right knee towards the right wrist, just to the outside of the right wrist. Now you decide how much you want to bend that right leg. You can bend it a lot if you'd like. And then you're going to shimmy that left leg back, starting to get into the hips. You're welcome to take a block or pillow underneath your right hip bone for a little bit of support. If your right glute is not touching the mat, our body likes to feel supported so it then can release. So try to square off the hips as much as you can. If you're feeling pain in your right knee, you can flex your right ankle, or if this is not working for you, you can take figure 4 on your back. Walk your hands forward. You can bring pillow or a bolster to rest yourself here, or you can stack your fists for your forehead. Now tune into your breath. Try to stay present. Notice if your mind wants to wander to try and get out of this shape. Try to move through the discomfort. Breathe through the discomfort. Take 3 more cycles of breath here. And we're going to bring our hands to the ground, lift your torso up, remove any props that's here. Come onto your right hip. You're going to gently swing the left leg forward. And then cross your left leg to the outside of the right thigh. See if both sit bones can be onto the mat. If they can't, you can sit on something to elevate, or you can extend your right leg in front of you long. And this will ease off any tension you might be feeling in the hips. If you can keep the sit bones both on the mat, you can bend that right knee. Your left hand's going to come behind you, come onto the fingertips here, find a tall spine. Right arm's going to reach up, breathe in. Exhale, you can hug your left knee in towards you. You're going to twist over to the left. Try to keep both shoulders open here, chest open, spine nice and long. So you're finding a line of energy through your root, the base of your spine, all the way through the top of your head. So your torso's in line with the hips, so we're not leaning way back or forward. On your next exhalation, unwind. You're going to swing that left leg back behind to down dog just for a moment to set up. Come onto your forearms if you prefer. If your wrists are bothering you, you can pedal it out or be still. Other side, left foot between the hands. Right knee comes down. Make sure that left knee's in line with the left ankle or just slightly tracking over it. And take your hands onto your thigh. And then now left heel energetically draws back, right knee forward. That activates the inner thighs. Glide the shoulders down the back. Lift out of the hips. Breathing in and out through the nose. Exhale, hands come down either side of the left foot. Release your hips back into half split. Hands on blocks if you'd like. Keep the spine tall, shoulders down the back, head in line with the spine, left toes towards the face. Find that dragging action of that heel, opening up the hamstring. And then exhale, bend through that left knee, come back forward. Maybe you need to slide that left foot back a bit, pigeon on the other side. So left toes are gonna heel toe over to the right. So your left knee is gonna come to the outside of the left wrist, left ankle towards the right wrist. Doesn't necessarily have to line up exactly. You can bend that left knee a little more if you like. Slide that left heel closer into the groin. And then slide your right leg back. Find props here. Maybe you put a block or pillows underneath your left hip to bridge the gap to allow us to support. And maybe you bring pillows in front of you to lie down. Maybe you can come all the way down or just stack your fists for your forehead here. Making sure that we're trying to bring both hips level so we're not leaning way over to one side. Use your breath. Start to navigate inside here, moving through the sensations. Peeling away the layers of tension and discomfort. Just letting the body naturally unfurl. Being patient, staying present. Three more cycles of breath here. Release. Bring your hands to the mat. Lift your torso up. And we're going to bring our left sit bone now. Remove your props out of the way. Swing your right leg forward And then you can cross your right foot to the outside of the left thigh. Maybe you elevate your hips, you sit on something. Maybe your left leg is extended if you can't have both sit bones grounded. One side might feel different than the other. This time your right hand's going to come behind you as a kickstand to support the spine. Left arm reaches up, inhale. Exhale, start to hug your right knee in towards the chest, either using the inside of your elbow or maybe just your hand. As we inhale, we grow tall. As we exhale, we twist from the core over to the right. So it's a lot easier to just twist with your neck. We're using our stomach and the strength of our core instead, so we can find that integrity and a deeper twist here while staying safe in our body. And then as we exhale, we unwind. And this time we're going to extend the legs forward. Keep the knees bent. Lie down onto your back, nice and slow. Now 2 options here. We're going to come into shoulder stand. I'll guide you through that. If you have a recent spine injury or a neck injury and this is not working for you, you can come into restorative waterfalls. So you can take a block or pillows underneath your sacrum, that bony part, that bony bone above your glutes, and then rest your sacrum on a prop, lift your legs up. If you don't have a prop, just lift your legs up here. You're still getting the benefits. Otherwise, for shoulder stand, you're going to start with the knees bent, and we're going to lift the legs up and our hips up. Take your hands to your low back and just pause here without moving. Just getting used to being upside down here. Now try not to look from left to right here. Keep your head straight and rather listen to my voice and use your own judgment here. So we're gonna bend the knees now, knees towards the forehead. Now we can adjust, walk our shoulders in a little bit closer together. Maybe you slide your hands down the back. Extend the legs back up when you're ready. So try to bring more weight into your elbows so your legs start to come stacked over the hips. Making sure there is still an easy flow flowing through the body, through the throat here. So see if you can still talk easily and freely here. Now you can stay right here, or maybe you slowly with control start to bring the legs over behind the head here, keeping your low back supported. Now each day this might feel and look different. Now if your toes touch behind you, only then release the arms, interlace the hands behind the back, and walk the shoulders in a little closer. Otherwise, keep your hands to your low back. Try to keep the legs extended here. So we're feeling the stretch now in the top of the spine. So good for our thyroid. If you can do this posture every day, I would recommend it. Now if your hands are interlaced behind the back, you can gently release. Take your hands back to your low back for support And let's slowly start to come down with control, with care. And then we'll bend the knees, bring our feet hip width distance apart, flat on the mat. Bring your heels close to your groin, to your glutes, setting up for bridge pose. So press your feet into the mat, start to lift the hips up. And then here you can have either your palms facing down onto the mat, maybe you grip the sides of your mat, or you can interlace the hands behind the back, walking the shoulders in closer together. Now we're feeling a different sensation in the throat. Keeping integrity throughout the legs so our knees aren't opening up to the side. So imagine as if you're squeezing a ball, a beach ball. And then releasing your hands, your shoulders, slowly roll yourself back down onto the mat. Gently draw your knees in towards the chest. It's for a gentle squeeze here. And then bring your feet back down. We're gonna have the soles of the feet to touch. Knees are gonna come open for butterfly pose or Supta Baddha Konasana. Now you're welcome to have your hands down by your side, or you can have your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your belly. Coming into this very grounding shape here. Let your shoulders rest heavy on the mat, closing the eyes. Tune into the energy, that electricity, that vibration that we tapped into in the beginning of practice. And with your hands here on your body, using your hands as a gentle reminder for your breath, for the fullness of your breath. Noticing the outer edges of your feet rooted and grounded. And your sacrum grounded and rooted. Sending healing and restorative energy to your lower back and your pelvis. And then slowly take your hands to the outside of your thighs, gently close the legs, and then just heel toe your feet now as wide as the mat, coming into this opposite shape. And then draw your knees into touch here. You're welcome to bring your hands back on your body or on the ground. This is a constructive rest pose. One breath at a time. Let's come into one last shape before we move into Shavasana. So we're going to draw our knees in towards the chest, happy baby. Elbows towards the inside of the legs. You're going to flex the feet. You can grab the shins or the ankles or the outer edges of the feet. Having your ankles in line with your knees here, as if you're squatting against the ceiling. Relax your shoulders, relax your tailbone down here. You can be still, or if you'd like to rock from side to side, your choice. And then when you're ready, you can come into your final resting pose, Shavasana. You're welcome to maybe put pillows if you'd like behind the backs of the knees, or a bolster if you feel it's too tough to lie down flat on your back. And shimmy and wiggle. If you'd like, do whatever you need to get comfortable, because there is nothing left for you to do here but to receive the effects of your practice. So let's take one big cleansing breath together. Breathe in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Letting go of any controlling of your breath, closing your eyes. Just allow your bones to be heavy. And making the choice here to release your efforts and your weight into the ground, into the earth. Allowing the energy within you to organize itself into balance and harmony and coherence. Allow yourself to receive. Noticing what it feels like to be at home in the center of your own being. And know that you always, always have access to this. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Letting your breath gently stretch you from the inside out. Wiggling your fingers and toes, inviting in some movement, gently stirring your body into wakefulness. Bringing your arms up overhead for a nice big stretch. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Giving yourself a hug. Rolling off to one side, any side you like. Using your bottom bicep as a pillow for your ear. And then use your top hand to bring you up to a seated position. And we'll meet with our palms touching in the heart center. Slight bow of the chin, closing your eyes and just enjoying these next few moments here with yourself and with your breath, finding that tall spine. Noticing the energy within you and how you feel after practice, after self-love. And sending so much loving energy to your low back, to your whole body, and giving thanks for your practice, for doing it all the way right to the end. And may you take this energy that you've created here, take it with you into your day, into your night, and spread it to all those around you. Thank you so much for your trust. From my heart to yours. Namaste. To support free yoga, please feel free to like this video and subscribe for all future videos. Thank you so, so much. Love you.